Hey guys, it's Zenny here. I want to be talking about why I stopped doing Weiss edits, or just versus edits, or just edits in general. I'm talking about my problems. I put some background gameplay just so you guys don't find the video boring, because in my videos, if not shorts but videos, I don't really add much commentary or interesting stuff to keep the viewer's eyes. So I decided to add some gameplay. If you guys want to know this game, it's called Dan the Man. It's a pretty cool game, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm gonna just be talking about why I quit Weiss editing and if I'm gonna come back. So the main reason why I quit editing is because of school. School, it could be stressful. Everybody could get stressed from school. Doesn't matter if you're smart or if you're dumb. It could be stressful. I do have good grades, so I consider myself at least average or maybe smart. But just because I'm smart and have good grades doesn't mean that school's not stressful, because, how am I going to have the good grades if I'm not doing the work, which could cause me stress? So, obviously it's high school, and in the summer, you guys might notice, I'm always editing. In the summer is when I edit the most. When it's summer for everyone else, that's when I edit the most. In high school, it's a lot of work. I'm a ninth grader freshman, so I'm probably just new to it. I know if the more higher grade gets, the more harder school is going to get. But I think I just need to adapt to school. So maybe when I'm a sophomore or a junior, maybe high school wouldn't be much of a problem. High school is much more harder than middle school. But I just been trying to keep up the good grades. I do have good grades, way better grades than 8th grade, because 8th grade I wasn't really that smart. I was always distracted about something I'll talk about later. But the main reason why I quit Weiss editing was just because of school and lack of motivation. When I get home from school or being stressed or something, when I do homework, I'm usually probably just playing games or watching YouTube while working out, something like that. And it kind of, helps stop some stress and, makes me feel better. But Weiss editing does take quite a while, but I'm going to come back because I recently did reach 500 subscribers. And I know I said I was going to give my fans and fan base the rewards that I stated I was going to give you guys. And I'm a man of my word, so I'm going to work on it. It might take me a while. It's definitely going to take me a while. For a question edit, I'm going to have to wait a while. So that way we get a lot of people to request. That way the edit's not short, because I want a lot of people to request on the poll. If you guys want me to make your matchup or make your edit or something, you're gonna have to put it in my latest poll, in the one where I'm celebrating it. But yeah, the main reason is that I have a lot of school. I do get bullied often by some of the Weiss community, by some people in Weiss. I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm at least try not to let it affect me. But, yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys something personal that I trust you guys hopefully won't make fun of me or disrespect me or humiliate me. I'm going to trust you guys with what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to be telling you guys about my problems. So, the reason why I was so dumb in 8th grade and why I'm so smart, well, not so smart, but at least smarter, way smarter than I was back then, was because in 8th grade, well, how do I say, I don't know how to say this, but I was going to say the actual word, but I think the actual word could possibly get me banned, so I'll just say what rhymes with it. So I think we all know what corn stands for when we're trying to say a word that YouTube probably wouldn't allow. Well, think of corn, but replace the C with a P. I'm a corn addict. I go on Cornhub, watch all these videos. I think a lot of people do relate, especially with people my age, because people that are like 14, maybe a little under, maybe a little older, do start to get hormones, go through puberty, and probably start getting curious or just getting in the mood and start to watch it. But so I guess it's normal, but I am ashamed of it. And what I'm about to tell you guys is kind of personal and inappropriate. So if you guys feel disturbed or just don't want to listen to it because this part could get weird and freaky, if you want, you could click off the video or just skip to this part of the video. But every time I go on Cornhub, I touch my private part. Of course, a lot of people do that. But even though some people say it's normal, some people don't think it's normal. A lot of therapists or case managers or just people, I don't know what they're called, but people who talk to you, people that talk to you about your problems or something. They say it's normal, but I think there's something, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's called post-nut clarity. I don't know if I pronounced that right or if that's even what it's called, but it's when you feel ashamed after being your meat. And I feel that all the time. I feel it before I even bust. I'm watching corn and I just already have post-nut clarity. I'm yeah, I shouldn't, why am I watching this? And it's just an infinite loop. I see something. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna warn you guys. Don't watch corn. Don't. I'm not saying, you're a bad person. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you watch corn or do beat your meat. Because I do it too. And I know a lot of other people do. But we do feel shameful. And I feel very shameful when watching it and being my meat. And it really affected me, especially with my school, because in 8th grade, I would think of it nonstop. I would think of all these girls and all of them doing stuff to me. I would in math, it affected me most in math class. It's the end of it's math class was my last period in middle school. It was the end of the day. I'll go home where I, can do all that private stuff. So it would just be on my mind constantly, and I couldn't really focus on the work. I couldn't focus on the math work. I didn't know how to do the math. I didn't know how to do anything in math. In the start, it was okay in the start of the year, but at the end or in the middle, it really affected me to a point where I could probably see the dumb, not the dumb, but well, they are dumb, but I could see the wannabe gangster or wannabe the hood kids, just people who act like they're gangster or something, just bad kids or bad influences. I could see them being smarter than me in terms of math. That's how bad I was at math, just because I couldn't focus because of corn. But this year, I changed that a lot. I still think of corn and still, be my meat, but I'm really smart in math now. In my class, I'm considered out. I'd say I'm in the top 3. I think only maybe one student is equal to me in math, and another student is smarter than me in math. The person that's equal to me, his name is JC. He's a pretty cool guy, I'd say. And then the girl who's smarter than me, her name is Zaya. I would consider her smarter than me. She does the math test, the math work quicker, and she gets it correct. So yeah, I'm not the smartest, but I'm actually very proud of myself because I'm smarter than I was back then. But currently, as of today, I'm determined because even though I look at math problems like, okay, this is easy. I could easily do this. But for this time, I'm determined. Like, I actually want to pass because I have a 95 as my grade in math. But what's it called? We have a test tomorrow. So today is Thursday, I believe January 23rd, 2025, and tomorrow on a Friday we have a test. It's about y equals mx plus b. In 8th grade, obviously because of my corn addiction, I couldn't focus. And y equals mx plus b was literally the most math topic. Like, there's like math topics like subtraction, addition. Like y equals mx plus b, I consider a topic. It was a topic we learned like the most throughout the school year. And that's why I considered it like the main villain. Not the main, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm like determined to do well on this test because of my corn addiction, I didn't even understand why it was supposed to be. I literally had to ask a different math teacher on my own time, like not in like my own math class. Like I had to ask a different math teacher how to like do the problem. Like I think it was in my 7th period class, which is my reading class. Like I'm pretty sure I finished all my work, or I don't think we were assigned work. Like it was pretty much a chill class, so I don't think we were given too much work or too much hard work in general. But I literally used reading class time to do math, just to learn the basics of y equals mx plus b, and I still did terrible on the test. Honestly, I think I probably would be in summer, I probably would have been in summer school, or probably back in 8th grade, repeating the grade, if it wasn't for a new teacher. So, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but, there's always, like, not always, but, like, you guys know, like, I don't know what you would call them, but, like, they're, like, teachers, not teachers, maybe they have been a teacher, but they're people that want to be a teacher as their job, and they kind of like work with the other real teachers. So I have to get the basics, learn how they teach, and get inspired, or just practice their teaching in general. And there was this one girl who I believe moved to Mexico. I'm not going to say her full last name, so I'll just call her by the first letter of her last name. So Miss T. If it wasn't for her, like, she was a very nice teacher. Like, I had 2 teachers in my math class, Miss S and Miss B. They were also nice, but Miss Tool was the most nicest out of the all and the most helpful out of the all. So my math class, they had like a bunch of tables where the students would sit. Sometimes we would change them. Actually, no, I think in the middle of the year, they actually changed it to like those annoying seats. Like the seats that are attached to the table. So like you can't even adjust the seat. Like you can't push it in. Or like you can't like lean back. Like it's literally attached to the table. So you had that instead of the tables. But there was a table off to the side, which was like, the table was like, it wasn't like wood or like, it was like a whiteboard. Like you could literally draw on it. So we would always go to Miss T, or like people would always go to Miss T for help. Go to the table, learn the problems, and even with Miss T's help, I still did kind of terrible on the test. Like, I think I got a 60 or like a 70 on one of the tests. I was just kind of disappointed with myself. Actually, I think it was a 50. I'm not sure. But I was very disappointed with myself. And I almost failed the year, but I didn't because of Miss T. She was very nice. Sadly, she did go at like the end of the year. But luckily, I passed. And in the beginning of the year in math, like 9th grade high school freshman, I was also terrible at math still. Like, I didn't just magically become smart. I worked hard to be smart now. I went to tutoring, and in my school every Wednesday the day is shorter. Like I think the classes are like 10 minutes less longer. So like if your class is like 45 minutes, on Wednesdays it's probably 35 minutes. And I'm pretty sure no, I'm not sure. I am sure. It's short. The day is shorter. Like so our school ends at like our school starts at 8:40. Like class starts at like 8:45 and school ends at 2:35. On Wednesdays, school ends at 1:35. And the reason why the day is shorter is because it makes room for activity period. Now, what is activity period? Activity period is kind of like tutoring, or just where you go for like test corrections or getting help, like doing homework, test corrections, basically all that stuff. So if you're good to go, like you don't really have homework, or you might just do it at home, or you didn't really fail a test, or maybe you just don't want to do test corrections, you can kind of consider it like a half day. But so tutoring is every Tuesday through Thursday. There's no tutoring during activity period, but after activity period there is. Activity period ends at 2:35, the same day that school ends. So I always go to tutoring, go to activity period, and do test corrections. And like I only went to tutoring for math. The only time I went to tutoring not for math was just for science. Just because I didn't really understand this one science work. But now I understand it. And I also sometimes go to, not tutoring, but the media center, which is where tutoring is, but I don't go to tutoring. I do go to the library sometimes. I haven't this week, or I don't think I have gone to the media center for doing homework this month. But I usually go for like doing homework because I don't think I could trust myself to really do homework or any schoolwork at home, because obviously I'm at home. I have my phone, my Nintendo Switch, my TV, like all the stuff. But at school, I can definitely trust myself with doing work. But I did go to tutoring today just to understand about y equals mx plus b a little bit more. I think I'm confident for the quiz, but I can definitely see myself getting confused. But all I want is just to at least get a 90 or an 100. Considering all my tests, I've just been getting 90s and 100s. Like in the start of the year, I've been getting 60s, 70s. And I got a little better, got some 80s. Then boom. Now, this marking period is about to end. It's marking period 2 right now. And at the end of marking period 1, I was getting just 90s and 100s. There was only one time where I've gone like an 85, which was on like a test that I barely had time to study for. So, yeah. If I have to give you guys advice, I would really recommend using privileges to your advantage. Like, if you're given the option to be tutored, or like remake a test, or like ask your teacher for help, like definitely ask your teacher for help. Definitely ask a teacher to tutor you that's doing the same topic your teacher does, because it really helps you out a lot, and it definitely helped me a lot. And don't be like shy or embarrassed that like you're going to a tutor. Like don't be like, oh bro, do I really need a tutor? Like how dumb can I be? Like no, don't think of that. I see a lot of smart kids, smarter than me, still go to tutoring sometimes. Like tutoring is just to get extra help. Like maybe you were absent and don't understand the basics because you were absent, or maybe you just didn't focus. Or, tutoring doesn't always mean you're dumb. It's just, honestly, if you go to tutoring, you're actually smart, and because you actually care about your work, you actually care about succeeding in school. Most kids in my school don't care about succeeding. Like, obviously, they want a good grade, but, like, they're not going to work for a good grade. But I worked for a good grade. And I'm not saying I'm the smartest, because I know there are some classes that I have that I could definitely improve My lowest grade so far is a 77, which is in a science class, which is obviously, I have one of my best friends. His name's Chris, and he's a pretty cool guy. I also have Gabe and Steven. I just been getting distracted, but I think I'm still pretty good at science. I think I'm good at science. It's just the teacher just grades it late or just grades it unfairly. I'm not sure. But I'm passing all my classes, so I could focus a little bit more towards science. But it's whatever. But I will come back to WISA editing, hopefully. And if I don't, during my school year, definitely expect me to come back in the summer. But I think the WISA pack and the request and edit pack, not. I'll mess up my words. I think my CapCut pack and the request and edit is gonna take a while because I don't think I have a lot of requests yet. So I want a lot of people to request. That way everyone gets their requests. And the WISA pack, I definitely know that if I come back, I could probably be better than I was. So I actually want to probably do a couple edits, get used to being back at editing, but also improving. That way I can give you guys even better shakes, better text, better color correction. That way you guys can use better stuff than just what I'm using now. Because what I'm using now, like the way I edit, it's not the best. So I know I could do better now. So that's why I'm probably gonna just do a couple edits just so I could get warmed up and get back at it. But I'll see you guys next time.